Button was definitely pressed. That's exactly what we're going for, is that button right there. I think the camera does need to be moved just a little bit.
To where, like this?
Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. That's beautiful. Now we'll see if we can see you when you sit.
Oh man, there's always so much shit around. Okay, so I can kind of hear myself. I guess that's good enough for now. But yeah, we're live, and we don't have anyone hanging out in the chat just yet, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's not really a big concern. We're gonna have a few people showing up pretty soon here.
Yeah, I'm not overly worried about it. I think it's gonna be. I think we're gonna have a pretty interesting stream today. I'll make some more announcements when when people start joining. You know.
Yeah, when we actually have people to talk at, as it were.
Yeah, because I don't want to make all the announcements and then everyone misses it and then I have to go, oh, let's redo the announcements, you know?
Yes, there are more things to do. There are.
Yeah, that would be not ideal, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely not. Did you post the link in the Goblin Discord? I think you did, didn't you?
I believe so. Let me double check here.
Absolutely, because I mean that's definitely one way that we'll get a few people in here is if we let them know that we're actually going live in the Gobble Grotto.
Yeah.
Is it Gobble Grotto? It makes me sad that our first first city level awful is goblins, but like they are the easy target.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? Gobble Grotto. There we
But
go.
I promise you, my goblins, I love you. I don't mean it.
Yeah, I should have because I leveled up. Remember?
Yeah, yeah. You're right.
So there we go. Yeah. Cool.
But we have a few good stories in today. One of which is a recommendation from Dave's mom. It's great.
I'm glad we're getting recommendations.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
It was a good recommendation too. I liked how she tied it all in too.
Yeah, it kind of works. I mean, the national level story is going to be a great one. It's a high import to either Dave or Mike. We're not sure which one yet, but it's going to be a very, very big importance to one of them.
Heck yes. I'm super excited to just kind of see where this all goes. You know what I mean? Oh, you know what? Never mind. Okay.
What's
I just wanted to check if I didn't have something plugged in, but no, it's definitely plugged in.
It's plugged in, but it doesn't love you.
Yeah, jeez. I had $1 for every time I heard that.
I can't imagine you hear it too often. It's plugged in, but it doesn't love you. That's really not a tagline you hear from any rom-coms or anything like that. Unless we're talking about like Android love. I don't know. Like it's something I can see from like Rule 34 iRobot.
Yeah, that's understandable. Oh, okay. Well, we still don't have anyone, but I guess I'll just roll right into the announcements. I think that'll be fine.
Yeah, might as well.
So we do have episode 1 uploaded now. It's on Spotify or pretty much wherever you get your podcasts. It should be. I know for sure it's on Spotify. We haven't gotten the confirmation for Apple or whatnot yet, but the full edited episode is on Spotify right now. I will eventually be uploading it to YouTube. I just have to put the audio into a video kind of format, and there's not a whole lot of free video editing software, which I don't really need. It's just a picture for 17 minutes, but
yeah, we can literally just do the town of Blackshell. Now I do know that we need to re-upload the PNG and then alter the name of Boneport, because Boneport is actually going to be like a full year in kind of thing.
Yeah, Boneport, it's not going to be Boneport for a while. What's it called right now?
I don't know. I think we were still taking names on that because it doesn't really have a solid name until about the end of the first season. What arc would we call that? I mean, it's when the Harry Staves become the gladiatorial team. We know that much.
Yeah, we know that's and we have the sports ball team that'll come in pretty soon here too.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, we've got a lot of ideas here. I'm not the best at taking notes, so I'm a little embarrassed about that here, but
oh, it's fine. That's what I'm here for. I keep
true.
track of the overarching story.
Yeah, because I'm just here to do voices and add flavor.
And be pretty. Don't forget you're pretty.
Oh, I'm looking at my face right now, and
That's okay.
I wouldn't call me pretty.
You'll get better at the job as time goes on.
Yeah, that's actually what I've been told quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll get better as it goes on. Yeah,
Absolutely, and
that's how it works.
That's all I can really hope for, right?
Yeah, hope for it.
Hope for, yeah.
Yeah.
ASMR.
Oh, please never do that again. Oh my God. That is the sound that Steve will make when he's eating a goblin. That's what that is.
Yeah, it's Steve. Hey, Steve, what you doing?
Speaking that deep speech, yo.
That's Steve. What a nice guy.
You know, I actually don't know what language Krakens would speak. Would it be like just broad primordial?
We can burn that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, that's fair. It might be Aquan, you know, the language of water elementals and stuff like that.
Yes.
It might be Aklin, which is like the language of aberrations.
Maybe a combination of all of them.
It speaks some sort of weird redneck Aklin because it forgot how to speak Aquan. You know, it never learned how to really write in ink as a kid, so it never really kept the Aquan. It's the old tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all works for me.
Aquan is actually the old tongue. You look into it, and Aquan, Ignan, Terran, and Orin all became primordial for 5th edition because they were like, it makes no sense that we should have 4 different languages for these creatures. And I'm sitting there like, there are like 100 of each different variation of elemental. They should all have a different fucking language.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, fuck,
Right.
even English has like a ton of different variations.
Absolutely, it does.
Like, depending on where you are in the world, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, but hey, I'm not here to judge, I guess.
You're
A little
not?
bit. I'm here a little bit to judge. That's kind of why I do what I do. I
Just a bit.
really enjoy judging people.
You're
More
such a
than it's
judgy
healthy.
bitch.
I'm the judgiest batch. Fucking yes.
Well, I mean, we'll wait another few minutes. Like, how long do...
We did 15 last time. So I don't know if you want to do another 15 or what. I'm going to see if I can't convince someone else to come along.
I'm honestly surprised that we're not seeing more people because I expected at the very least, like, Chief, Obby, and Loyler to be here kind of thing.
Maybe they got lost. It's kind of hard to find the place.
I mean, Blackshell is just around the corner from Ashen... Oh, wait, no, that burnt down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's on the eastern side of Pragstein, which it's kind of hard to find, I suppose. Just a bit. So thinking over the intro and stuff, are we going to do a pre-recorded intro one of these days, do you think?
I think we should. I think we should have a pre-recorded intro for the podcast as well as the stream. I think that would really help quite a bit. I think it'd just add an element of professionalism. I mean, I think the podcast itself right now does sound pretty professional.
I would definitely agree. It does have like the right sound effects in the right spots. Background music is all good to go.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun to put together.
You say fun, but I hear work. It was a lot of work to put together is what I think.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude. Like, I didn't even put in a whole bunch of effort into editing it, and it took me 6 hours, so.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm hoping this picks up. I'm hoping we get a decent following. It's on Spotify. I've already added it to like my account and stuff. I know that there are a few people who've already listened to it. I know Loyler's already listened to it. She was listening to it earlier as she was getting our AC set up in the house. So.
I've got a friend who is going to listen to it as well. She specifically asked, she's like, hey, if you ever make a podcast, let me know. And then I was like, okay, sure. She's kind of where the original idea came from, and then we workshopped it into a newscast. But my original idea for this podcast, a lot of it came from her because she enjoyed what I did. So,
well, do we have a username to shout out, or is she not an internet person?
I do not have a username.
Well, that's unfortunate. But yeah, so, I mean, there are a few people I want to absolutely throw a shout out to. One is, of course, Whistling Dave, right to my left here, doing the From the Flood stuff. And the ever awesome moderator for my channel, which is Abby.
That was me. I'm sitting right on the edge of this couch.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I just felt like the board shift. I'm like, oh God, it's me being fat again, isn't it?
My fat ass is going to kill us both.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, jeez. I think we may have broken it.
It was broken long before we came along. Trust me. This thing is a futon. It's definitely not.
The board is cleanly separated right beneath me, my dude.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, I can feel that. Well, we can move it and then bring in chairs. The only problem is you're going to have to lean down on the microphone and you won't be able to move. Unless I get like a dining room chair real quick. I can do that.
I'm literally thinking of just pushing this forward a little bit and sitting my ass on the floor because I'm tall enough for that to work for me.
That's not comfortable for like an hour, and I don't know if this will go far back enough, you know?
I'm good now, pretty much.
You're just going to sit like that?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're sure.
I mean, well, we can take a break between the recordings and see how that goes.
Or we can take a break just before we... yeah, we can take a break between our practice and the actual recording.
Yeah, because we're going to do a practice run or two just to see how that goes.
Yeah, I think that'll be... that's a good idea. Let's do that then. We'll take a break in between. We'll grab chairs and hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah, that's about all we can do. I mean, I'm also not too bad here. Like, my legs are not going numb because I am kneeling, but I'm half on like against the couch, so it's lifting some of the weight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so do you want to do the intro this week?
I can try. Yeah.
All right, you want to go for it, and I'll head into the main topic. Just make sure at the end of the whole intro, you're like, now over to Mike for the news, that kind of thing.
Should we wait for another 2-ish minutes until we're at the 20 minutes of streaming mark and then go into it?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Also, after the first try, I might actually go grab a glass of water.
That's a really good idea. I mean, we do have drinks, but I don't know if you drank yours already. So.
Yeah, I finished mine. I am a pop slut. It just happens. It disappears. Yeah.
Me too, especially because on the road. Well, no, I bought a lot of pop last week on the road actually. So, but yeah, we'll take a break after this first try here, and then we'll go and we'll grab some drinks, and then we'll come back, do the actual recording, and hope for the best from there. I wanted to ask chat if there was any suggestions, but we don't have. I guess our premiere had more people than this week. But
well, I'm not super worried about that because honestly, I think like for a lot of people, this was just a last minute thing. I know that for a good chunk of them, they're going to be doing other things right now, so I'm not super worried about it. I'm more excited to see how the podcast, like the pilot podcast, does in the first week.
Yeah, I want to see if we can get a good chunk of listens and whatnot. And we are on Spotify now. It's if you want to search for it, it is Blackshell. Just search Blackshell from the Flood. It will pop right up. And the links, there's like 2 or 3 different links over in the Gabi Grotto in this guy's Discord here. So if you want to give that a listen, absolutely feel free.
All right, so yeah, there's a few more things like that I want to get done with the podcast before I'm not going to be super satisfied with it. I do want to see about getting a person in here that is not us that can do a feminine voice a little better than we can.
Oh my God, that would be so nice. Like, I might have to wait until the end of the summer, but we will have a third mic, which would be a potential recurring guest slot or what have you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So if you're a girl and you feel comfortable hanging out in Dave's mom's basement, give us a shout.
Well, I mean, we can always ask Loyler. I'm not sure how confident she'll be on mic, but she does want to start streaming. So
yeah, this is a great way to start.
Yeah,
then it's just one more person to add into the little blurb I have at the end of the podcast, which you probably won't hear here like today. I think I'm gonna keep doing the sound effects and editing. Not live, just on my own time kind of deal, because I think that's going to be easier in the long run.
So I think, the way we have it right now, you'll do the intro, I'll do the main news thing, and I'm not sure if you know like all the benefits of an alchemy jug or not. So I'll probably cover the alchemy jug as well. We have an advertisement to do. After that, we're going to do the local news. So you'll probably do the advertisement, and we'll split the local news, like half and half, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think what we were doing before, because I think broadcasters, like news broadcasters, are similar to radio stuff, where there's a lead guy, and then kind of the secondary, where they do some of their own stories, but they also kind of add commentary. I don't watch a lot of the news, to be honest, but
no,
I think it's
really,
something like that.
It's similar-ish, I suppose.
Yeah.
Although what I'm thinking is, if I'm going to take the lead, like I will take the lead on the national shortage. It's entirely possible you should like scream "Oh no," like faintly, and maybe do a little sob as I talk about the impending ale shortage.
Oh no! Please.
It's okay, Dave. It's okay. I've got a keg just for you.
Not my booze! Oh God!
All right. So, do you want to get started?
Yeah, we can do that. I think I'm going to just start as if we had that intro, like as if that pre-recorded intro blurb.
Yeah,
with
as
the
if it's
music is
already
already
there.
done.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
All right. You wanna try counting me in? We'll see how this goes.
Alrighty, ready to go?
I guess so.
Okay. So we're going to go in 5. Oh, sorry. I suppose I have to wait like just a moment of silence. We're going to do that first. So we'll wait a minute. All right, and we'll go in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Dave. This is Mike, and we are the Blackshell News. Our top story tonight: there's going to be a national ale shortage.
That's right, Dave. We're actually looking at a national ale shortage as the dragon attack of last week actually leaves us at a severe deficit of hops.
So please, if you have hops, send them to
Dave.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Oh.
We got you a keg.
Oh.
As Ashenvale was one of the greatest distributors of hops and brewing supplies in the region, it looks like Praguestein's going to be a little low on ale in the coming future. Now, you don't have to worry about that right away. We're probably going to be another season until we actually see that shortage in full effect, as most brewers don't release their brew for a good season or two. You can actually see some older ones coming from different refineries, different brewers all over the nation, but it's going to hit us all really hard, except for those relying on the good old-fashioned mushroom brews of the dwarves.
So if you're planning on continuing to drink, make sure you stock up enough for at least the fields to start growing again in the full season. So you might want to stock up for what you expect is going to be an entire season of not having beer or ale.
Well, I mean, if this all goes according to plan, we should see some new seed going in relatively soon. We're hoping that before summer is over, we might actually have a full crop ready to go, but there's no guarantee on that. We are calling in mages, and by we, I mean all of the citizens of Praguestein have kind of banded together to allow the City Council of Ashenvale, some of which survived, by the way, to actually purchase a few druids to cast a few really good spells.
Yeah, so we're just, at this point, I'm hoping against hope that the soil isn't going to be too badly destroyed so they can get the crop planted, seeded, and on its way to growing as soon as possible, because an ale shortage may end up being a problem.
Just a small problem when you have our item of the week. That's right, going over to Dave for the item of... No, we can't go over to you for the item of the week because you don't know what an alchemy jug does.
It's an alchemy jug. What's it do?
Yeah, like going over to Dave for our item of the week, the alchemy jug. Glug, glug, glug.
It's an alchemy jug. It does stuff. You want to tell us what kind of stuff?
Absolutely, Dave. So an alchemy jug can replicate the effects of any non-magical liquid. That means that if you are super worried about the shortage, you're super worried about the spike in ale and wine prices that's definitely going to be coming up, buy yourself an alchemy jug.
Okay, so how much would something like this cost in case someone would like to have one?
Well, you'd be looking at around 100 gold pieces if you find one on the cheap end.
Wow, that's only the total yearly revenue of everyone in the town.
Well, no. I mean, half the town.
The other half doesn't count because those are the politicians.
Well, I mean, not.
And Harry.
God, is 100 gold really that unaffordable for us?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're very poor. Last week I had to, well, I don't really want to say it, but I had to, let's just say, build a new toilet, if you know what I mean.
Wait. I mean, I could afford that after a year. After years of saving, I didn't have to scrimp that much.
Yeah, years of saving for a new toilet?
No. I mean, I could afford an alchemy jug after a year.
After 1 year, you could afford an alchemy jug.
Yeah.
Which brothel do you work at?
I don't. The station just pays me a living wage.
Wait, you're getting paid?
You're not?
No. They came up to me and were like, hey, we need a voice. And I was like, yeah, okay, that sounds like a ton of fun. I have like 3 full-time jobs on top of this.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, I get paid like 5 gold a week.
You see this farmer's town, dude? You think I got it from working inside?
Why are we doing this in your mom's basement? I'm getting paid for it and you're not.
She really doesn't like me.
Oh, I mean, yeah. All right, so
now there's a dire wolf, and he's just coming to say hi.
I'm so glad this is not the actual recording.
He just was all like, I want to give you loves, Dad.
I mean, is that something we want to add in, that Mike's actually getting paid and Dave isn't?
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
Right?
My mom pays you to hang out in my basement.
Like, Dave's doing this for fun. Mike actually gets paid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was half thinking we'd have Mara Weasley actually paying me so I can be like his PR person.
Oh, that'd be great.
Right?
Oh, yeah. That'd be...
So I'll do the interview with him if you want to do the voice, and it'll be good because I'll ask him like decent questions like, you're fired from being my PR guy.
That'd be pretty good.
Right? It'd be pretty good. Okay, so anyway, we have the alchemy jug, which can actually create almost an unlimited amount of any non-magical liquid. And unfortunately, for everybody's delicate ears, mayonnaise is a liquid.
You mean you don't just drink mayonnaise by the jug?
No, and what's even worse is semen is also a liquid.
That is great. It's
you
a
can
cure
get, like,
for depression.
3 gallons a day.
That's a cure-all.
Like, just think about everything you can
acne,
do.
just
Like,
spread semen over that.
right? You can get glue. You can get urine. Literal trollpiss if you wanted. You can.
So wait, you could impregnate random sleeping creatures with this alchemy gel.
I mean, that's real fucking creepy, but
Alchemy
yeah.
jug.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Cool. Just imagine getting a sphinx pregnant.
Oh, no. God, no. They're magical creatures. That's not how they reproduce.
Well, fuck. It is now.
But yeah, so alchemy jugs can literally produce any non-magical item or any non-magical liquid, which is actually what prevents them from being used to create potions. You can't use them to create healing potions or vials or filters or anything like that. So it's literally just whatever you can imagine. Now, that does include oil.
Oh.
So you can use it to create fire traps and the like.
Well, that is actually really interesting.
Yeah.
You could use that to, well, if you've got someone who knows anything about engines, whatever that is.
Right? Whatever engines are. But yeah, so I'm going to move this a little bit because like it is actually getting fairly uncomfortable for me to just kneel there.
I thought it might.
Yeah.
Do we just started. Do we want to take the break now?
I mean, yeah, well, we already fucked that up real hard.
Oh
so
yeah, I stopped.
Yeah.
I stopped being Dave a while ago.
Yeah, so let's go get a chair and a drink. And do you have a BRB?
Yeah. I have an intermission.
You should totally throw up your BRB right now.
Cool. There's nothing there on the intermission screen, but it's there. So I'm just going to toss that up for a couple minutes, and we're going to be right back.
Sounds good.
Oh, fuck! It's fine.
What did you do?
Nothing. It's fine. Everything's okay.
I am way taller than I was. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, there we go. Let's pop that up.
Yeah, just adjust it up a little bit. Although maybe a little bit actually towards you instead of me because it's catching just the edge of the light here. Yeah. So that should do it, I hope. Oh, no. Well, that's fine. If it catches a little bit of light, that's not such a big deal.
See if I can get my mic to work. Nope.
It's a nipple, Mike. He's wearing a wire.
Take him down. Oh, God, I am going to have to fight this fucking thing. Because it's broken. And has been for years. I mean, I could probably hold it like this, but... Wait a minute. Doesn't get much tighter. Okay, what about if I... Yeah, that also doesn't get much tighter. Whole thing's fucked. Let's hope this works. It did not.
I mean, that's a good look for Dave.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
All right. So how about I'll start the intro this time. You can do the lead topic with the national ale shortage, and I'll talk about the alchemy jug being the item of the week. Then we'll get to the silly salesaporium.
All right. That works. I think we can do that.
All right. So let's try that again, shall we? From the top.
Hell yeah. This is going to be our first practice. And then if there's any suggestions or whatnot, we can incorporate that in before we go and do the actual run through. So
yeah.
Cool.
All right. You want to count me in?
Absolutely. Just going to give it a second of silence and then I'll count you in. In 5, 4, 3.
Hello, listeners out there in Pragstein. It's Mike and Dave coming at you from Blackshell in Dave's mom's basement. How's it going this week? We have some news for you right from the get-go, and we're going to go over to Dave to listen to that. All right, Dave, what have you got for us?
Our top story tonight is there's projected to be a national ale shortage stemming directly from the dragon attack on Ashenvale.
No, not the ale. Please, not the ale.
Yeah, the ale. They're going to be taking away. Well, they're not going to be taking it away. There's just not going to be any, which is probably even more terrifying.
Oh God, how will I deal with the children?
Yep. No, we are pretty screwed as a society, I think. But hey, I'm sure that's going to be totally fine. If there's anyone who needs ale, make sure you go and you stock up now because it's only a matter of time before you won't be able to get it anywhere.
A moment of silence for my fallen brethren.
That only makes sense.
All right, so let's talk about this week's item, the alchemy jug.
Yes, the alchemy jug. It's a
savior,
jug, and it does alchemy things.
You're not wrong there. So the alchemy jug is this beautiful item that you can actually get a hold of for a very, very low and reasonable price of your sanity. Because let's be honest, with the beer shortage coming up, everyone's going to need it. Now it can produce pretty much any non-magical liquid. So that means if you have one of these bad boys, you're good.
Wow. That sounds actually kind of incredible. How much would one of these cost? I'm asking for a friend.
I mean, it'd only be about 100 gold pieces. That's right. For the low price of 100 gold pieces, you can definitely wait. 100 gold pieces seems pretty expensive to me.
Yeah, that's what? The entire town's wage combined? Yearly wage.
No, that can't be it.
Yeah, it's about right, isn't it? Because everyone makes like maybe a couple copper a day, if that.
What? No, dude. Most people make about $1 a week.
Since when?
Pretty much always?
I work 3 full-time jobs, and I make like 1 copper a day at each of them.
Dave?
Yeah.
Maybe you should look for better jobs.
What are you
How
talking
much do you get
about?
paid for this one?
What? I don't get paid.
Dave, we're in your mom's basement, and I get paid $5 a week for this gig. What are you doing?
$5 a week? I don't get paid anything. I need to have a speak with my mom.
Obviously. Well, I mean, my pay doesn't come from your mom. It comes from the mayor.
Oh. I don't think I've ever spoken to that man in my life. Probably too busy working my 3 full-time jobs.
We had a meeting with him like 2 days ago.
Was I there for that?
I don't remember. We were drinking.
Ah. Well, that's not going to be something that's going to be happening soon because of the ale shortage that's coming up. I am dreading that.
Yeah, so am I. All right, so speaking of shortages and alchemy jugs, we do have a small ray of hope in the form of an advertisement from our sponsors.
That's true, actually. But let's get right into it. Are there too many goblins in your backyard? Did you hire some carpenters to fix your house, but it turned out it was actually 12 goblins in 4 trench coats that stole all of your building materials as well as your roof? Swing by Alchemical Aids and Ailments to pick up some Gobbo Begone, the only potion that will banish those pesky critters. Gobbo Begone, guaranteed to work 100% of the time that it works. Warning, please do not use Gobbo Begone on things or people you do not want gone.
All right, so there you have it, some Gobble Begone that's going to deal with our town's local problem, which is, of course, goblins.
Yes, we've got just way too many of them. They're still running around. I don't think it's going to get easier as time goes on.
Well, the mayor did announce a small little thing. He said that it's possible that the goblins were actually affecting trade, and you can actually see it in a lot of different ways around town.
Really? What kinds of ways can you see goblins affecting trade?
Well, most prevalently, we actually see goblins affecting the fields. Farmers and the like are losing hundreds and hundreds of acres of crops to goblins. Now, at first, we thought it was locusts.
It's true. We did. I actually remember going out because one of my jobs, I'm working on a farm, and our crops kept dying and being destroyed, and the damage that was being done actually looked exactly like locusts. I thought that this may have been some kind of plague or wrath of the gods, but if it turns out it's actually just goblins, maybe we don't have a god problem yet.
Yeah, old Graham by the quarry, our regular correspondent, actually said that he saw hundreds of goblins descend on a farmer's field and act much like a plague of locusts, in devouring the entire thing in less time than it took for him to actually pronounce his own name.
It is a difficult name to pronounce, especially for him with his lack of teeth.
Yeah, it is hard to make those like big old G sounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's just one way the goblins are affecting trade. Another is we're actually seeing them attempt to form their own rudimentary bartering system using their own denomination of what they call goblin nuts.
And if there's one thing I hate rolling around in my hands, it's gotta be some goblin nuts.
Okay, are you being literal or metaphorical here? Because I don't know.
A little bit of both, you see, because I've actually held goblin nuts. And it's a funny story. I was walking down the street and I saw what looked like a crew of builders just walking down, right? They had building materials. They had a fucking roof. So I figured these guys aren't sketchy. But they gave me some nuts. They just dropped a sack of their nuts right in my hand to make me not tell anyone about them. Which obviously, once I'm paid, I'm going to tell everybody. But I made that promise, and, well, here we are.
So you've literally met with goblins that are trading in goblin nuts.
Yeah, it seems that way. At least they were giving him out for silence.
I really don't like how much that bespeaks of intelligence.
Yeah, that might be... I I can only see that becoming a problem in the future. I'm not going to lie.
In addition, our fine city of Blackshell is actually in danger of being renamed by the vast populace of the goblins. Now, they're starting to call it Gobbleland, which means that if there's enough of them and they override us in the next mayoral election, there's an entire possibility that these goblins will actually rename Blackshell to Gobbleland.
But, and I have a question that I want answered seriously. Do goblins count as people, and should they be allowed to vote?
Yeah, that's a question for our listeners and viewers out there. What do you think? Should the goblins be allowed to vote? Democratically speaking, all living things that are intelligent should probably have a vote, but do goblins really count?
And do goblins count as citizens? That is another
that's an important question
for all you listening on those message stones at home.
Yeah. On the plus side, though, the mayor did release that there's a very good benefit to there being this many goblins. A lot of the wolves and bears and predatory animals of the forest have gotten so fat and so lazy off of goblin meat that the venison, fowl, and rabbits of the forest are more plentiful than ever. Hunting is experiencing a huge boom right now, as anyone can literally pick up a snare and snag something by dinner time.
Absolutely. It's actually something I do quite often because it's, well, just so easy now. And
All
now,
right.
over to our adventurer forecast.
And hello there, folks. So Mike again. So we're talking about the adventurers forecast. Last week we forecast there was a 20% chance of adventurers with a 30% chance of murder hobo. And I'm here to tell you that it was definitely a murder hobo adventuring party. So the last week's adventuring party was actually obliterated when they came into town and tried to threaten a merchant into giving them some huge discount on wares. They're asking like 90% off. The merchant pulled out his own wand of magic missiles, not the one you're thinking of, and absolutely obliterated them.
Oh, was it who did they threaten?
I'm not allowed to disclose names. He's currently on trial.
Oh, well, did they ever murder anyone? Can we guarantee that they're murder hobos?
Yeah, actually, they did take down quite a few guards in the process of trying to reach this merchant. So, as he pulled out the wand and began shooting at them, the guards saw this as a form of self-defense and rushed to his aid. Now, of course, our guards were poorly trained, very poorly trained.
You can hardly call them guards at this point.
Yeah, no, they were actually really recruited in the past 2-3 days to begin their training. Unfortunately, we're going to have to recruit all over again.
So
but
if you'd like to join the town guard, head on over to the nearest guard post and just kind of start working.
Absolutely. The interview process is really simple. Can you use a sword? Yes, you're good. So
remember, pointy end goes into the bad guy, not into you. I made that mistake once.
I hesitate to ask. Either way, what we're talking about is the fact that these people did murder several town guards and were murdered in return. And this leads us to today's adventurous forecast. Now, I predict a 100% chance of an adventuring party, and I mean the whole shebang, coming through town the next week or so, with a 90% chance of them being murder hobos. As for some reason, and this tends to happen often, when an adventuring party dies here in town, some absolutely unrelated, low-tier, no-fame adventuring party kind of runs through, kills the people responsible, and runs off again. I'm not sure why it happens, but it seems to happen often.
That's true. It's happened in several of the neighboring cities. You hear stories of it all the time. In fact, that's a big part of the reason that this person is on trial, because we know that we are now a target for one random party of unrelated adventurers.
And that's true. We just really don't want them in our fair town. And speaking of our fair town and our good people, we have another word from one of our fantastic local sponsors, and that's Silly Sal. All right, Silly Sal, take it away.
Some have said Silly Sal's Saleaporium is hard to say. It saddens me to see that our city sidelines salespeople based on some syllabants. But boy, are those bastards missing out, because this week Silly Sal's is bringing boatloads of some beautiful Bradley Benson brand ball bearings. Find a bad thing in a big room? Break the lock by bashfully blowing in some ball bearings. Billy Benson brand ball bearings, only at Silly Sal's. Buy 1,000 in a bag. Bag not included. Billy Benson does not claim any liability for rogues who may have mistakenly assumed that ball bearings set off pressure plates. They don't. Find a smarter way to die.
All right. Thank you, Silly Sal, for that beautiful warning to go along with your advertisement. So, what are we talking about today next? I think today we're talking to Teddy as he actually goes out and tests our Gobbo Be Gone from the alchemical aids and ailments. So, over to
Absolutely.
you, Teddy.
Oh, hey guys! I just want to say thank you to everyone who donated and made me not a toad anymore. Being a toad was really awful. I mean, I didn't do much, but people kept stepping on me and kicking me, and there were a couple kids that played throw the toad, so that was super unfortunate. Anyway, I'm here with Arthur.
Yeah.
He's the alchemist guy, and he's going to show me how this gobble be gone works. So.
Well, I'm just gonna get you to stand right there, okay?
Just
stand
stand-
right
just
there
stand
for
right
me.
here?
Yeah, stand right there.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna
What do
give
you
you just a little spritz, and it's not gonna feel like much. You're not a goblin, all right?
Wait, so aren't we supposed to use this on goblins? Aren't we not supposed to use this on people?
Oh no, it's I think it's fine. I haven't tested it yet, so we're just gonna try it out, all right?
Are you sure? Because I don't
Yeah,
really feel
yeah, it's
safe
good.
with
It's
this.
good right now. Just Teddy, how do you feel?
Oh.
Hey,
Arthur.
Yeah.
What happened to Teddy there?
Don't worry, it's nothing I can't fix. It's a little mistake. But we're gonna need to get some money in here so I can get the stuff, the materials required to fix him. It's okay.
What
I'm
do you mean
gonna
fix
scoop
him?
him up and I'm gonna get as much of that puddle as I can.
You turned him into a puddle?
No, a little bit maybe.
Oh, well, looks like we are going to be starting a bottle drive. So if you would like to donate to the bottle drive to bring Teddy back from puddle form, feel free to donate. You can contact us through the regular means here at the station in my mom's basement.
All right, and that brings us to our next segment. We actually have a little bit of chat from Mayor Weasley. We had him in earlier today, so we're just going to air that interview. Of course, it was myself interviewing him, as I am on his payroll. All right, Mayor Weasley, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm really glad to be here.
Oh, that's good. That's good. We're glad to have you at the station. It's been an absolute blast sitting here chatting with you for the past few minutes. So we wanted to get right on topic. Can you tell us, how do you feel about the goblins in town?
Our official stance is there is no problem. We don't have any goblins. You can't even really notice that they're even there.
Okay, well, what do you say to the people who are reporting that a lot of their families have actually been murdered by the goblins?
We would like to say that these people
Are spreading the kind of news that is meant to bring fear into the town. It's all pretty much lies and slander, and there's really no problem whatsoever. Remember to vote for me come the next election.
Mayor, didn't you just hire new city guards to deal with the goblin problem?
Yeah, we did hire new city guards. However, they weren't for the goblin problem. They were for defense of the town. Because again, there is no goblin problem, and we're not going to admit to there being any kind of problem at this time.
All right, well, thank you, Mayor Weasley, for coming down here and telling us about how much there is not a goblin problem.
There is not a goblin problem. Why do you keep trying to say there's a goblin problem?
I was just trying to agree with you,
You
Mayor.
know what? This interview's over. You're no longer. I cannot sponsor a show that is so determined to just say that there is a goblin problem. Good day to you. I said. Good day.
Thank you, Mayor Weasley. All right, so you heard it here first, folks. We had that interview with Mayor Weasley. It went about as you'd expect.
I don't
no
think we
goblin
could have
problem.
gotten
Yeah.
a better interview with him, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think so. And don't forget, the mayoral election is coming up in the next season, so don't forget to vote. You heard it here first, folks. There is no goblin problem.
None at all. So if you see goblins in your backyard, you're probably imagining it.
Yeah, you're hallucinating.
Absolutely, you crazy
All right.
fuck.
Yep, sounds good. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, folks. Don't forget, stock up on that ale. Look for alchemy jugs. Take a visit to our local vendors. Try out that Gobble Be Gone. And don't forget the bottle drive to Depuddle Teddy.
And on our way out, we've got some happy news here. A bunny.
Yep, he's right there.
Yeah, he's cute. I love him. He's so super fat.
All the chubby.
Yeah. You can't see him, but he's here.
Yeah, I promise he's here. Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, guys. Bye.
Bye.
All right.
I didn't know what kind of voice to use for the mayor, so I kind of
Oh my
just
god, that was
plugged
like
my
absolutely
nose.
perfect.
I just plugged my nose. That was it. It took all of my willpower to not sneeze.
I mean, honestly, that was a lot like a certain ex-president that I just absolutely enjoyed.
I think that's what I was going for.
So I think the national ale shortage, like, I mean, I'm sure you heard how I did. Like, we actually discussed the hops and the stuff like that, and like the actual ramifications of the dragon burning down Ashenvale was. So I think maybe we need to go a bit more of that angle rather than like you took a really loose angle approach to it.
Yeah.
So I think we can do that.
If we have an actual news approach, sure.
Yeah.
That would make more sense than just panicking.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if I did the best job at panicking there, though.
We don't really, like, we're supposed to be quote unquote, like, we're amateur, but we're still supposed to be kind of professionals.
Mm-hmm.
So we can kind of have like an under the breath, like, oh God.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm thinking.
So it took a minute for us to get into the rhythm. Whereabouts would you say we got into the rhythm?
I don't know. I think I was.
Well, that's what Chad said.
Oh yeah. We'll 1 sec.
Yeah, because I just want to. Because if there's a spot where we started really getting into it and it went smoother, sounded better, I want to see if we can't start there.
Yeah.
And.
Well, I think the national ale shortage was just rough. Like, we launched right into this like hot topic for us, because either one of us or both of us are probably going to be very, very much on the sauce. So,
yeah,
I mean, it could be both of us. We're peasants who picked up a message stone and are using it to broadcast a random bunch of statements to people.
Yeah, so we could be peasants that can. Toward the end of the goblin initial bit. Like
with the goblins affecting trade. Okay, so I think that means we just really have to work on the national ale shortage and the alchemy jug thing. I think Silly Sal's. I'm sorry, it wasn't Silly Sal's at first. It was like the Gobble Be Gone. Do you mean?
Oh, that could be it.
Yeah.
Either way, it would be the first two. So I think we need to shorten the item of the day. The alchemy jug. Because we kind of spent a bit of time on that. I think we can probably.
Honestly, I'm not sure if we
down.
need to like shorten it or if we need to lengthen it the national ale shortage one to make it bigger. Because I felt
we
like
can tie them together.
Yeah, I honestly felt. I mean, we do want to do the separate segments like we did. Like we were told, and I agree. Like the way you pasted the segments last time was beautifully done. I think we do need to have a better. I don't want to actually mash them together. I want to have a break between the national ale shortage and the item of the week. Do like that, and that brings us to our item of the week. Kind of thing.
We could do something like that.
Yeah, which I think is something like that you should say, because if I'm going to be describing the alchemy jug kind of thing, it should be you like finishing off the national ale shortage. So I'm thinking we can. What I want to do is want to try it from like a more businessy approach for the national ale shortage. Talk about how the hops are down, how we just don't have access to the plants and supplies, and about how like we are trying to get people in to change that. I'm not sure I want to talk about like a national drive to help replenish the plants and stuff like that, because if that was already a thing, there's no reason for us to bring this up in the news. So I'm not sure.
He's just saying there was some long pauses as we were going, so maybe script the more newsy bits a bit more. That's understandable.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I think that could work. I think we could have it a little bit more like voice breaks as we're saying it, or we could even not predict it. We can just go update the dragon story saying, hey, they burnt the barley. So the barley has been burnt. Hopefully, Ashenvale was our biggest supplier of barley, but we're gonna have to see what this means. And then next week, it'll be like there's an ale shortage, and then we'll just have sounds of panicking in the background, kind of deal.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah.
Because then we can just switch that out, and we'll bring it. Then we have a bit for next week, and that way we can make the newsy, the businessy, the ale shortage. We can make that a bit more fun.
Okay.
You know.
So
That's just my thought, though. I could be completely wrong here.
Well, I mean, we do want to make the national, like the big lead topic to be something relatively massive. So I mean, I don't know what we should do for it then, because like I do like the idea of doing the national ale shortage imminent. Not that it's actually here yet, but that it's coming. And then next week we can do just a full out. Hey, it's actually here. There's panicking. There's riots. There's everything going on in the background. I don't know. I am kind of like wanting to move towards a more tongue in cheek for the next week. Like we can call out some people, be like, hey, if you weren't such a drunk, this wouldn't matter to you, kind of thing. I don't know. Because like I like if I'm not sure if you were here the first time, Rain Man. So when we discussed the national ale shortage the first time, how about we just work on that for now? We'll do the lead topic thing, the national ale shortage, and we'll take a look at that because we have the intro, I think, relatively down pat.
Okay. We can take a look at that there. Yeah.
So for the national ale shortage imminent, we want to kind of discuss, with the crops being burnt down in Ashenvale being the lead. Actually, what we should do is more research on ale and see what crops are required to properly brew a decent ale.
I know barley's beer.
Yeah.
Let's see. What crops needed ale?
Right.
Grains. Almost any grain will work for beer. Wheat, rye, rice. Preferred grains, barley.
So yeah, it's malted grains, water, and fermented with yeast.
Yep.
Okay, so malted grain, huh?
So yeah, just they were Ashenvale is the leading grain distributor in the continent.
Yeah, so we can definitely do it that way. So what we don't want to say is hops, like I was saying, because hops is just beer. Like the difference between ale and beer is apparently that beer uses hops and ale doesn't. So literally, I was way off base with that. So we want to talk about the grains that were burned down. We can talk about how there are farmers looking for work, and then lead it into the fact that there's no farm looking for anyone right now because the goblins have eaten everything.
Yeah.
In the next segment. So we can definitely mention that there were some survivors to the Ashenvale Dragon incident that have slowly wandered into town. And we can discuss just exactly what's going on with that.
Well, Rain Man, we're hoping sorry. We want the main newsy bits to also have a fun feel. It's, you know what I mean? We don't want it to just be like serious because it's the top story. So if there's no fun in it, especially in like a podcast thing that's supposed to be comedic, if there's no fun in the top story and we spend a lot of time in it, then we might lose listenership because the most important part is the beginning. Right.
I'm also kind of thinking like the fun bits we definitely do a little more like freestyle comedy. If we did a bit more like dry humor, sarcasm, tongue-in-cheek kind of thing for the main news bits, like the two big news bits, which are of course going to be our lead topic and our local news.
Yeah, if they were more like, if they're serious, but we're making like deadpan, dry jokes.
Yeah, I think that would work fairly well.
I think that would be good as well, because then we're incorporating all sorts of different humor styles into the entire show, and I think that would.
Yeah, and changing it up does definitely help out with the laughs, the giggles. You know how it is. So how about we try the national ale shortage, just that from the top.
Okay.
And so if it's you, I'll be doing the intro. So I'll be like, and in our lead story today, and then I'll hand it over to you. So do you want to do a quick count in, and I'll do that, and we can discuss like the fact that the grains are gone. So what do you want to like? Maybe we should script it a bit better, like they're saying. Like I have the local goblin news is actually fairly scripted. Like the crops decimated. try trading using their own currency, that kind of thing.
Here.
Yeah.
We can do something. So, yeah, we may as well write down a couple of things. The jokes, we want more. We want the jokes to be less obvious, in my mind. They want to be more deadpan, more, you know what I mean? I think that would be pretty ideal.
Yeah, so I think this is going to be one of those things where I'm probably going to like have to storyboard this a bit better before we actually get into it, because one day might not be enough for us to actually have a decent set of jokes going on.
Okay, so Rain Man says, I think the joke about not being able to deal with your kids is good, but would be better delivered by your co-host about you. Just kind of as like a snarky remark from whoever's not currently telling the story. In other news, 2 more orphans have joined the orphanage as my co-host will no longer be able to deal with them. That's a pretty good tongue-in-cheek joke. I like that one.
I think, Rayman, we might actually steal that. But which of us actually has the kids is the question, because I think Mike last week said that he lost an orphan that way to the toilet goblins.
Wasn't that you lost the orphan to? To the toilet goblins?
I said Mike. I didn't say Dave. I said Mike lost the toilet.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's right. Names are confusing, and I get confused easy. So,
all right. So far what we have is that Dave is dumb and works 3 jobs for like the price of a quarter of one.
Yep.
And Mike regularly loses orphans and is a drunk.
I think having you often lose orphans is kind of fucking funny.
And then, of course, we have Teddy. Like, you would think that if I was so often adopting orphans, I would have known what the paperwork looks like and not adopted Teddy. Or do you think I just adopted him out of habit?
Yeah, it was just a habit. You're like, you gave them the adoption papers instead of the internship papers.
All right, so I don't know. What do we think? Like 32 kids for Mike is what I'm thinking.
Just enough. Like, we'll never specify a number.
Oh God,
But
yeah.
you're just something's always happening to one of your kids.
Yep.
Just kind of like an every week thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there were some awkward silences as I was trying to like think of just a joke, some way to like get back at you, and I couldn't. So I think that's just a little note of my improv skills. I'm used to dealing with like D&D monsters, not jokes, so I can improv the D&D monsters no problem. The jokes are a little more freeform, and I'm very bad at them right now.
Yeah, that's well, I've done the actual radio thing, so that's why I've done co-hosted shows and stuff. So that's just something that comes with practice, really. You'll get that banter down. It won't. I don't think it'll take too long to get the banter down. It's just doing it.
I mean, we could also do something like miss the really obvious joke, like, and now in national news, an ale shortage is imminent. Ashenvale's grains have gone up in embers. Right, because we've already made the ash joke once. We'll just like nod to it and keep going.
Yeah, we'll just.
Dozens of farmers are now looking for work as their fields have gone to ruin. A lot of the brewers in the area fear a shortage of supplies as their stock dwindles.
We have.
Oh God, how do I deal with you sober?
Next week, you'll just get, as the newscast goes on, you'll just get more and more annoyed with me.
I mean, like last week, I was freaked out. I was like pissed at you because you didn't know how big a dragon was.
Yeah. Yeah, and like next week, because there's no beer, you just get more and more upset and just angry.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the big headlines, should be more subtle humor, and then the fun bits just riffing and fucking around.
I think so. I think that's what Abby was talking about last week, and the fact that we needed a bit more scripting And now that we've like run through it once or twice, I'm like, yeah, I can kind of agree with it. Like the big topics do probably need a little more solid scripting before we actually start working on them. And
we can
working them into the
also
thing.
like we can also build a script during the week too, because we have a whole week. We can build at least a rough script of what we're gonna say, what the headline's gonna be. Like now we already know it's going to be the actual shortage. It's gonna build into that for that continuity.
So this week we can do the oh god, how do I deal with you sober? Next week we'll actually have the shortage hit us, and we can do like the Rain Man says, and the orphanage will now have 2 new children joining them, as my co-host can no longer deal with them.
You're kind of just like, shut the fuck up, Dave.
I can't believe you'd say that.
She's gonna out me on National Message Stone.
No one was supposed to know. Yeah. So we can talk with the Grains Gone and Ashenvale, do like the Embers thing. I think the Embers thing works really well. Of course, this is you going to be doing it, so like all of your input as you can, good sir. Because I'm going to do the intro, you're going to do the lead topic, I'm going to do the item of the week, you're going to do the advertisement, and then I'll do the local news kind of thing with you being involved in it. Like I want you to be involved in the national ale shortage, I want to be involved in the national ale shortage. But I think the item of the week, the alchemy jug, should definitely be like an even back and forth a fair bit.
Okay.
I think the local Goblin News, I'll lead it with you just like adding in random bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Maybe nothing too complicated, like maybe like a sentence or 2 at most. And then so we're not like randomly going off on tangents. We actually have a focus on the Goblin News.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. The Adventurers forecast will definitely be like a back and forth, half and half, I think. Where I'll give like the prediction and the numbers and stuff, and you just like randomly riff on adventurers like they're jerk bags. Really good. Then of course you'll have the advertisement for Sal's Salporium, and we'll do the Teddy thing. The poor Teddy.
I love what we're doing to Teddy.
Oh god, Teddy the puddle though.
Yep.
Wait, is Teddy one of my kids, or does he actually belong to the station?
He belongs to the station.
Okay.
You just gave him the paperwork for adoption instead of hiring him, and he just went with it.
Yeah, so you'll be the main character in the Teddy thing. You will be Teddy. And then you'll also be Mara Weasley. Sorry for putting like all the voices on you.
I love it.
Yeah,
it
and then
means I have to make voices.
Right.
And,
we'll do the ending statements.
Yeah, I enjoy doing voices anyways. Were the voices, like, that's the thing is whenever I hear my voice back on a recording, it sounds just like me. Right? And I know everyone's like, no, you sound different enough. But do I sound different enough?
Like, me personally, I can definitely tell it's you affecting an accent, but that's just something that comes with practice, I think.
Yeah, I hope so.
Especially because, like, it's just us two back to back to back. So the similarities in your voice, you can definitely tell. Whereas in a lot of, like, other voice active material doing different voices, they literally have, like, casts of dozens to hundreds, so you don't hear the same voice over and over again kind of thing.
That's true. Like, even, like, if you listen to Critical Role, Matt Mercer, when he does the different voices, you can totally tell it's still Matt Mercer.
Yeah, and that's one thing. But if you're actually, like, just watching different media with his voice in it, you have a really hard time telling.
Yeah, you're like, oh, shit, is that Matt Mercer? You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Yeah, I just want to know. I just want to make sure that it does sound different enough that it's not, you know, obviously me. And I don't know if you caught the announcement earlier, Rain Man, but we have published the edited version. It is now on Spotify of episode 1. So the fully edited version is like 17 minutes, and it's on Spotify. If you want to check it out and hear the editing and give us feedback. Sorry, sitting like this and trying to speak makes me super yawny. I need to hurry up and buy that arm.
So I'm thinking we do the grains gone in Ashenvale as the fields go up in embers, or as the grains go up in embers. Farmers looking for work, leaving their fields to go to seed kind of thing. Brewers fear low supply, so they've had to stop drinking their own brews to maintain profit margins.
Mm-hmm.
And it's somewhere in there I'll slip in the, oh God, how do I deal with you sober?
Right on.
All right, so do you want to give it a test run? We'll do like the first third, the lead topic, the item of the week, and the advertisement for Gobble Be Gone.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. I'm starting the lead topic, correct?
Yeah, so I'll be doing the intro. You'll be doing the lead topic.
Cool.
All right. So do you want to do a quick count-in for me just so I can get like all composed and stuff?
Yeah, I can do that. I'm just trying to think about how I'm going to start this topic, but fuck it. We'll just hope for the best. In 5, 4, 3.
Hello, listeners out there in Pragstein. This is Mike and Dave coming at you from Blackshell in the studio in Dave's mom's basement. This week, we have a new national headline and update on the dragon attack that's going to leave us absolutely in tatters. That's right, there's going to be a national ale shortage imminent. Over to you, Dave.
It's true. Since the dragon attacked last week, it actually turns out that the fire from the dragon's breath ended up burning most, if not all, of the grains in Ashenvale. It left all of the fields in embers. Now the farmers are looking for work. Now there's tons of farmers looking for work. The fields are gone.
Yeah, I think we need to work on that one a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah. I just can't read your writing. I don't
Sorry,
know what
it's
you're
so
going
fucking
for.
messy.
These
I
jot
don't-
notes are.
I don't know. The jot notes are all over the place because I honestly don't know. I like the little bit there, the intro.
Yeah, we had the intro going there, but
Yeah. So like I like the brewers fear low supplies kind of thing. We can talk about how there's no other place in Pragstein that actually makes grain in such quantities kind of thing. Talk about how Ashenvale was the number one supply.
yeah, I think that's something good. Oh, boot myself in the nose with the mic. But yeah. I'm kind of gonna have to hold the mic, I think, like this for most of it here. But yeah, we're gonna need to do whole bunch.
All right, so we'll try that again from intro to where we left off. And I will not mean to be rude, but I'll cut you off if I think it's just weird. And they cut me off if you think it's weird. Same thing. All right, so you want to count me in again?
Chase or Rainman says maybe if Ashenvale has a history of burning down along with being the top grain producer. We were just gonna have Ashenvale as kind of like a different tragedy hits it all the time, and then something big stems from that. So then we don't have to put together the rest of the continent for a while. So we can just be a little lazy, and that's our national news for a while.
Yeah, it's honestly like Ashenvale's probably going to get hit by a tsunami next.
Yeah, it's going to get flooded next, tsunami, and then all that stuff. And these disasters only hit Ashenvale; they miss the surrounding cities.
Yeah, even though they're only 100 kilometers away, we're not going to even feel the effects of the tsunami at all.
Yeah, no, we're not even
a little.
Not going to hit us one bit. So I think that's our current plan for Ashenvale, but who knows? We might end up changing it in the future. We'll have to see. But
all right, so let's do that countdown.
All right. In 5, 4, 3.
And a big hello to all you listeners out there in Prague. Oh, God damn it. I forgot the name of the country. We're doing so good. It's so great. All right. Pragstein. It's Pragstein. There we go. All right. I got this.
Well, it's a local newscast, so you don't have to say Pragstein. It's just Blackshell in the continent of Pragstein. So the listeners might not necessarily be from there, right?
That's true, because Pragstein's the country.
Yeah.
So we can. Do you just want to say Blackshell?
Yeah.
All the listeners out there in Blackshell. Okay, I can do that instead. All right. Hit me up again.
Ready. In 5, 4, 3.
Hello, all you listeners out there in Blackshell. This is Mike and Dave coming at you from the studio in Dave's mom's basement. We've got some news for you this week, a bit of an update on our main lead from last week. That was a fuck up. Don't worry, we're going to keep going. That's right, the Dragon Attack does have a bit of a follow-up and update, and that is a national ale shortage imminent. More over with Dave.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, it turns out Ashenvale is our country's largest supplier of anything grains, and all of the grain fields in Ashenvale actually went up in embers. Brewers are now terrified of getting a low supply, as we do need the grains first and foremost for things like bread and food before ale, which I think is a little bit ridiculous to prioritize feeding people than keeping them drunk, but regardless.
Oh, God. I have to deal with you sober?
Yes, you do, which is going to be fun for you. I'm glad I'm not you. But now, in order to maintain profits, farmers are thinking they might have to stop sipping from their own supply. They might have to stop drinking entirely, and they are looking for help from either druids or what have you. If you have any knowledge of how to fix burned and destroyed soil, if you know what can be done, head on over to Ashenvale. There is tons of people who could use the help of someone who can fix the soil and maybe even doesn't partake in the fun times of ale.
I think maybe we need to include a little more like D&D background in that, because that could have been said like pretty much anywhere. I think we need to add like any druids or any clerics of blank gods that know how to grow grain, kind of thing.
I don't know anything D&D, which is why I left them out.
Yeah, I'm gonna write some notes then.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all gibberish to me, my guy. Gibberish. Gubrash. Giefengorpen. It sounds like a god name, Giefengorpen. I'm the music. Our album releases soon. Check out our Fire mixtape, fam. How to survive hot with no air conditioner. Let's take a look. Soak your feet or hands in a bucket or big pot of cold water. I can't afford that. Bath with cool water. Stand, sit, lie in it. Take a cool shower. Wait to dry off. It's a lot of effort. Wet a towel or cloth. Drape it over your neck or shoulders or head or wrists, elbows behind your knees. So pretty much your sweaty bits. All of these would work if I wasn't surrounded by very sensitive audio equipment. Like, get a spritzer bottle. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, we're already in the basement, so that doesn't help. Turn off lights.
Sorry.
4.
I just like tapped that accidentally.
Oh, I can't hear anything in my ear holes, so.
Fair.
Yeah.
Just trying to find the friggin' thing. I know it's here. I can't remember what the 5th edition spell is to grow crops. Is it control weather?
To grow crocs?
Crops.
I think growing Crocs would be funny.
It would be.
So how's the day going today, chat?
It's literally called plant growth.
Wow.
Okay. So, that would be Clerics of Shantea or Druids of Good Standing. You can cast Plant Growth. We need you. So.
Cool.
All right, so we have the Grains and Ashen Vale gone to embers. We have brewers fearing low supplies. They've had to stop offering demos and stop drinking their own wares to maintain profit margins. And the druid thing. So
Yeah.
So yeah, in national news, we have an ale shortage imminent. Ashenvale, once the largest supplier of grain to all of Pragstein, has now gone up in embers. That's right, every grain field is just gone. That means
So
that
are you doing that story?
no, I'm just like trying to see what's going on here.
Okay.
Trying to like feel it out, see if I can write something to actually help you out there.
Yeah.
I also wrote a pronunciation guide for the goddess's name because I'm not sure if you would know how to pronounce that.
Shantea.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like I figured something out here. Sort of.
Looks good.
Yeah,
All right.
Means I can sit up now at least.
All right. So did you want to try that again? I'll just count you into that. I'll just do the quick thing when I'm like, all right. And our lead story tonight, a grain shortage may be leading to an ale shortage. Over to you, Dave.
Yeah, we can try something like that. I think that'll work. Hopefully that'll work pretty okay here. So let's give it a shot.
I'm actually thinking of cutting out the "oh God, how do I deal with you sober" thing because I think it's too dramatic as the form of humor for our main topic. It's not like it's too like side piece, not main story.
Yeah, we need more tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
More just like dry humor going on here.
I mean, literally everyone's going to be dry pretty soon. So
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to do the count-in? I'll do the intro. We'll call it good.
All right, let's see if we can get her done with this one. In 5, 4, 3.
Hello, all you listeners out there in Blackshell. This is Mike and Dave coming at you from the studio in Dave's mom's basement. This week, our top story is a grain shortage leading to a potentially disastrous imminent ale shortage. More with Dave.
Thank you, Mike. That's correct. Last week we reported on a dragon sighting. It turns out that the dragon had actually used its fire breath to burn down Ashenvale. And more importantly, it burnt down most of the crops. And as we all know, Ashenvale is actually the lead supplier of grains to our entire country. So having them with the grain shortage is a little bit worrisome, especially for the ale, because what's left is going to need to be focused in on bread and food as opposed to drink and fun, which I guess. So now the farmers are worried that pretty soon there's going to be no stock. They're looking into not using their own stock here. They're not going to be drinking from their own supply just so that they can meet the demands of grain that's needed. I personally don't like this. Not having ale is going to be terrifying for me, my family, and I know Mike's children aren't going to like this lack of ale either, but we're just going to have to deal with it. The soil is burnt. So if you are a druid who can cast plant growth and you've got good standing, or you're a cleric of Shantea, please make sure you head on down as soon as possible to Ashenvale, where the crops have all been burned to embers.
Well, that does bring us to our item of the week. That might actually be that saving grace for all of us out there who enjoy the drink just a little too much, an alchemy jug.
Yeah, an alchemy jug. It's a jug, you have it, and then it does like alchemy things, right?
Well, what it actually does is produce any amount of non-magical liquid that you desire, up to 3 gallons per day. Now, you can be boring, and you can do water, different kinds, I suppose, lake or rainwater, or you can do the blessed beer. That's right. You can get up to 3 gallons of beer per day for the low price of 100 gold pieces.
The only problem is if you're like me, 3 gallons is rookie numbers.
Yeah, that's true. It is kind of rookie numbers.
It's very small amount of daily ale, but it'll be enough to get you through the shortage.
Absolutely, it won't. So,
the only problem is, how expensive are these things?
well, I already mentioned they are 100 gold pieces. So with reasonable savings, you should be able to grab one within a year.
What do you mean? That's like the yearly income of our entire town put together.
That math doesn't add up, Dave.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, a reasonable person can save that up in a year. I mean, I make about 5 gold a week. I don't know about you.
How do you make 5 gold a week, man? What brothel do you work at?
Well, I don't. I just work in your mom's basement.
So do I. I'm not getting paid. She doesn't pay me.
I mean, your mom doesn't pay me. The mayor does.
Why does the mayor pay you to work in my mom's basement? That makes even less sense.
He pays us to put on the news, Dave.
He doesn't pay me. I've never even had a discussion with the man.
Didn't we have one like 2 days ago?
Was I even there? I feel like I was at work.
No, we were drinking and laughing at you. That's right. I mean, laughing with you.
You
laughing
can't
with
laugh
you.
with someone who's not there. You guys were just bullying me.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. So, I'm sure we can talk to the mayor and get you bankrolled as soon as possible.
I would like to say that my feelings are hurt.
That's all right. Moving on, we have a word from our sponsor. Oh, God, I almost said Silly Sal's again, but it's not Silly Sal's. From our sponsored item this week, Gobble Be Gone.
Yeah, I think for that's just an awkward transition. We should just be like, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Yeah, it's fair.
You know, one of those. Because,
Yeah.
it's a whole produced commercial, right? So
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah.
that's just kind of what would happen in the thing. Like, more news after this.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could do that. But how was that that lead story? Did that one come across the way we wanted it to? Was it entertaining, or was it a little too informative, a little too dry? That's my main question, because I got one joke that made Mike laugh, but alcoholic orphans. It's always funny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my last question. If that's came across as entertaining or just kind of something you wanted to get through before we got to the rest of it.
Yeah.
Right.
I do want to try, I think I want to try doing it myself and see if I can just randomly come up with words that I'll be able to add to it to make it flow together a little smoothly, because it seemed like just a little too choppy to me when you did it.
Yeah.
No offense meant, but.
No, I'm not like, I didn't go into news and radio specifically because I didn't like using that kind of. And tonight's top story is bullshit that I hate and don't want to talk to you about.
Exactly, Dave. That's what we're going to be talking about is random bullshit happening in Blackshell that nobody really cares about.
Yeah, like I enjoy more being the color commentary. I bring the flavor, you bring the substance.
I mean, so I'm going to try. So, in this week, our lead story is about the dragon attack. We have a bit of an update. Now, as we all know, Ashenvale is the #1 grain supplier to the entirety of Pragstein, Blackshell included, and that means with its fields burnt to absolute embers, we no longer have a solid, reliable grain supply. And we're starting to feel that pinch as all grain is being diverted into foodstuffs and specifically bread. So, brewers are fearing an absolutely low supply, which means they've stopped offering demos. They've stopped offering demos, and they have stopped sampling their own supplies as they look at their profit margins and decide just what had to be cut. So if you are a druid of good standing or a cleric of Shantea, we could really use you. Please, I could really use you. Go to the fields of Ashenvale and maybe just give us a good old-fashioned plant growth so we can go back to drinking booze like we always have.
And Mike, it's been said before by many of the priests in our city, and they would like it if I said it again. They like their beer the same way they like their boys. Uncut.
Oh, God. That is cancel culture in a fucking nutshell. That is you asking to be lynched by a mob. I'm just like...
Because priests are known to be pedophiles, I get canceled? Come on.
That's how it works.
That was a great joke.
And that's how we die.
Yeah. I think that was a high-quality joke, but...
I may have been just a little too much. Just a little too much.
I thought it was awesome.
All right, so how did you think of that one? Did that go over well? I wasn't really able to fit a whole lot of humor in there is the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing about this story is, like, we know we're setting up that there's going to be an ale shortage, sure, but there's not a whole lot we can do with it comedically speaking. It's just legitimate news. Like, there's not a whole lot. We can't really spin it. Because last week we had the dragon attack, which was funny in that it's a dragon killing people. Like,
dragon burn.
Yeah, death is funny. But, like, this week it's just there's going to be a beer shortage. And we can't add the panic sound effects until the beer shortage is actually here.
I mean, I
think that one, like, it's going to be similar when we're talking about it. Like, there's an ale shortage. This is awful. It will be calm, but then we'll add in the sound effects in the background of people screaming, shit breaking, and just all around panic. But I don't think we can do that with the leading up to it.
I did get to poke fun at brewers.
That's true.
Stop offering demos and sampling their own supplies. That was a good one. I think I need to add something more, though. There has to be like another joke we can fit in there. But
we might want to just do an update on what the dragon did, and then kind of at the end say this might actually lead to a, in my unprofessional opinion, there's a chance that this may lead to some kind of ale shortage.
I do like that. Yeah, and then we can actually discuss like how Ashenvale is the biggest. Yeah, so we can do an update on the dragon.
It'll just be an overall update on the dragon, casualties, Jim Bob. Yeah. Like, he might be dead, but he can still recur.
That wouldn't be a bad idea at all. Like, and we can actually introduce the Night Avengers here as being from Ashenvale.
Yeah. Yeah, and they started their quest to get revenge on the dragon that burnt their home. Yeah. And then as soon as they'll do some small quests, then they'll probably come here to fight the goblins because there's stuff going on, and then they'll leave, and then they'll get the experience from the goblins they wanted, and then they'll leave because they didn't really get rid of the problem, but they leveled up enough, so they don't care about us.
Okay, I'm going to try something, and it's going to be a complete and total random improv thing, so bear with me. while I try it.
Yeah, okay.
And this week's lead story God damn it. In this week's lead story, the dragon attack. Will it happen again? Chances are actually likely, as Ashenvale is already under reconstruction efforts twice. No, that's not going to work. I like already under reconstruction efforts. All right.
Reconstruction efforts are underway in Ashenvale already, considering the alcoholics of the country have banded together to get there ASAP.
Support has gone out to Ashenvale from all distributors of fine ales across the country in an effort to stem what may be a rising tide of ale shortage.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out, like, the dragon is a big dude about staying sober. Used to be a drunk dragon. Now he's just burning down all the grain, so it can't be a thing.
Yeah, Rain Man said he liked that one. So.
Okay. In tonight's lead story, the reconstruction efforts of Ashenvale after the most recent. Now, we want to do an update on the dragon attack. Will it happen again? Sources say that Ashenvale, already under reconstruction, is under dire threat of dragon attack once again. Its plentiful grain fields once. Oh, god damn it. It's really hard to add. I wonder how the fuck do news people actually do this? Like the guys who actually do write the stuff for the teleprompters. How do they do it so quickly?
They have a whole day. We've been doing this for 10 minutes. And we've been changing it as we go.
That's
we don't
right.
have a real story. We're just making it up to fit our world and be entertaining at the same time, you know? I feel like as we go forward with this and do it more often, it'll get easier and easier, because we didn't really we had no idea what we were going to do until I picked you up, and we were sitting here already. So
yeah. All right. And this week's lead story, the dragon attack on Ashenvale. Could it happen again? Reconstruction efforts are already underway in the small city that was once the lead grain producer for the entire nation. Brewers across the country have banded together and raised funds for a cleric of Shantea to start plant growth.
not only that, for the first time in history, volunteers have gone up 200%. In fact, the amount of hobos you see on the street right now has gone down by about 200%. And we don't know if these two numbers are related, but I have seen hobos heading in the direction of Ashenvale. So
that's not a bad angle to take. Like, vagrants are in all-time low numbers as alcoholics everywhere band together to save our nation's grain supply.
yeah, but I feel like if we can't say the word alcoholic, we have to.
No, I think
go
vagrant is a
around
good
it.
one, though.
Yeah,
Vagrant.
vagrants.
Vagrant and vagrants of all sorts, of all types, and
Ale enthusiasts.
ale enthusiasts is a good one. Okay, so this week's top story.
All the hobos left twice.
Yeah.
They came back and went, no, still a problem.
All right, so in this week's lead story, the dragon attack in Ashenvale. Could it happen here? Sources say it's unlikely the dragon will actually move out of Ashenvale, even as reconstruction efforts have already begun. Vagrants and ale enthusiasts everywhere have flocked to help the city rebuild and restart its grain fields. Once the number one suppliers in all of the country, they've been burned to embers. I want to put the embers thing in there, but I think we're onto something with that one. That's not too bad. The vagrants, everyone going there, the brewers fearing the low time supply. I think we can pull it off.
Cool.
And I like the tongue in cheek, vagrants and ale enthusiasts everywhere going to reconstruct. I think that's just enough humor to get me through it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's just enough that you can tell we're poking fun at alcoholics.
Okay.
Right? It's just enough that people are going to be like, they're making fun of alcoholics, but we're not just straight up going, alcoholics fucking suck. I hate those guys, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good balance of making fun of them and not directly
Okay.
showing disdain. If if that makes sense.
All right, I'm gonna try it again. I'm sorry for like taking up so much of the airtime here, just like talking a bunch.
No worries. We got to get it down.
In this week's top story, the dragon attack in Ashenvale. Could it happen here? Experts say it's highly unlikely as reconstruction efforts are already beginning in Ashenvale. Now, as we all know, Ashenvale is the country's #1 grain supplier, which means that all of our foodstuffs and a lot of our beer come from there. In shocking numbers, vagrants and ale enthusiasts alike have banded together to not only fund but physically help in the rebuilding of the city. It's an absolute marvel of human generosity that so many drunkards are going to help. Brewers still fear that their supplies are running low as this season's crops should have already been harvested. But they just say they'll have to cut back on drinking their own supply and stop offering demos at the breweries just to maintain their profit margins.
Thank you, Mike. How are your kids going to survive without beer?
They're not. Any clerics of Shantea or druids of good repute, please join in this monumental, massive human effort to regrow our fields. Plant growth will be highly appreciated.
Perfect. Yep. Rain Man says that was perfect as well. Now we need to do it again. and hope we don't fuck it up.
All right. I think, honestly, my voice works a lot better for the serious topics.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. That's why, like last week, you did both of the serious topics as well. And I think even if my voice did work for it, it'd be a little weird to suddenly have me do the main, like some of the more serious topics when I haven't been, especially because like I do the commercials and whatnot anyways.
Okay. But how are we going to transition into the item of the week, the alchemy jug?
I'll just be like, well, thank you, Mike. And then I'll make the joke about your kids, and then you'll go, haha, they won't. I'm like, well, if you have a high enough salary, our item of the week might actually come in to help with this. It is an alchemy jug. And I'm not quite sure what that does. Mike, you've got more information on that, right?
Absolutely, I do. It's one of my favorite magical items for this specific reason. Now, an alchemy jug can create any non-magical liquid in up to 3 whole gallons a day. So I've got 5. Now, you can produce anything you want in this. That includes water or troll urine if you're really into that. But specifically, I'm into it because it produces really good beer.
You're into troll urine because it produces good beer?
No, the alchemy jug produces good beer.
Oh, jeez, man. Phrasing.
That was phrasing. Get your mind out of the... What was that for? I really don't want to know. Anyway, the alchemy jug, absolutely affordable at only 100 gold pieces per.
Excuse me?
You know, 100 gold pieces.
You realize that's like our whole town's annual income all combined into one, right?
I don't know where you're getting your numbers, but I make more than that a year by myself.
Which brothel do you work at, and are you hiring?
No, of course not. The mayor, actually sponsor of this show, pays me 5 gold pieces a week.
He doesn't pay me shit. What the hell, man?
Well, have you tried talking to him?
What? No. How am I supposed to talk to the mayor? I'm a dirty fucking peasant.
You, just go talk to him.
Hey, Mayor Weasley, if you're listening, fucking pay me.
I think that bit might be a bit too long. Just a little like... All right, we do need to shorten that up. I think we need to just need to build up the tension of like you getting angry and angry at the fact that I actually get paid over if you like, and then eventually Mayor Weasley gets overthrown by the person. You can be like, at least he'll fucking pay me. You know?
He still doesn't.
Turns out Mayor Weasley actually pays your mom and she just doesn't pay you.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be awesome. All right, so all right, we need to work this. So, okay, the national ale shortage, blah 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 blah, grains, blah 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 blah, stuff, blah 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 blah, more stuff, blah blah blah. Dragon attack couldn't really happen here because everyone's rebuilding, blah 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 blah. And you make a joke about my children.
I do. It's a really funny joke.
And for their survival, I would recommend this week's item of the week, the alchemy jug.
Now, some of you are wondering if there's any way you'll still be able to get your booze. Well, I've got some news for you. That's a Rain Man suggestion.
That's not too bad. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that, Rain Man. Thank you. All right. Do you want to do that one? So we'll make the joke about my children. I'll say that they're not going to survive, and then you can just do it, say what Rayman said there.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do the blah 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 blah. National ale shortage, dragon attack, blah 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 blah, and I'll be like, okay, and we really need your help and effort. So if you're a cleric of Shantea or a druid of good standing who can actually cast and deliver a plant growth, please, we need you desperately. I need you desperately in Ashenvale.
My kids need you desperately in Ashenvale.
Should I do the my kids need you in Ashenvale?
I think that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, all right. So,
Don't make more orphans.
so if you're a cleric of Shantea or a druid of good standing who can actually cast plant growth, please, we need you in Ashenvale. My kids need you in Ashenvale.
Yeah, I think that's kind of funny.
And then you do your joke thing. Do the joke. Say it.
But the priest one?
God, no, not that one.
I was gonna say,
How are my kids going to survive?
Oh yeah, how are your kids gonna survive?
They're not.
Oh,
And then you do the thing that Rayman said.
yeah. Some of you are wondering if there's any way you'll still be able to get your booze. Well, I've got some news for you because this week's item of the week is actually
The alchemy jug.
the alchemy jug, just like that.
This you said it like 50 times now.
I have the memory of a stick, dude.
All right, so what I'm thinking is we run through, we can actually run through from the intro all the way through the advertisement in one go, and we can see if we actually like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think we should be able to do it's just the intro, and I think it's just this first story we're having problems with. We should be able to do the rest in one go.
All right, so do you want to give it a try? We might actually make this a semi-professional recording right here, right now.
Hell yeah, if you fuck up, don't bring attention to it. Just keep going.
Okay.
That's chat's idea. Just keep going if you mess up.
All right, so did you want to do the intro then since I'm doing the lead topic, or do you want me to do the intro? No, you should probably do the intro if I'm doing the lead story. So this week's lead story, a dragon attack. Could it happen here?
That's what I'm going to say to you.
Or you could be like, you can do the hello listeners, and now with the news, Mike, and I can do the lead story thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could. I'll figure out some kind of intro, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's give it a shot.
All right, so a bit of quiet for a few seconds, and I'll count you in.
Hell yeah.
All right, ready? And in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening, residents of Blackshell. It's me, Dave, and I'm here with Mike, and it is time for your evening news.
In this week's top story, a dragon attack. Could it happen here? With last week's sacking of Ashenvale, as the dragon flew overhead, burning it to the ground, we saw something absolutely terrible. The #1 grain distributor of our country was burned to embers. Now, experts say it's highly unlikely that a dragon attack would happen here, as even as we speak, reconstruction efforts have begun in Ashenvale, which may very well just be the dragon's target. In record numbers all across the country, vagrants and ale enthusiasts alike have sent support and physical labor and lent... Oh, God damn it. I can't. God damn it, I tried that. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at this.
No worries. It's practice.
All right. So same thing. We'll just do the intro. I'm going to try my best to grab it. I promise.
No worries.
All
we
right.
got time. I'm
Yeah,
not doing anything.
we do. Yeah. All right. So we'll do a quick moment of silence. We'll do. Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
And in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening, residents of Blackshell. My name is Dave. I'm here with Mike, and it is time for your evening news, coming to you live from my mother's basement.
In this week's news, our lead story, a dragon attack. Could it happen here? Sources say that it's highly unlikely the dragon will actually leave its area of preference, which is Ashenvale, where even now reconstruction efforts are already underway. From all across the country, ale enthusiasts and vagrants alike have banded together to lend financial support and a hand to our country's previous #1 grain distributor. Now, we're not sure why, but it could have something to do with a potential ale shortage imminent. Brewers fear for their low supply, as this year's crop should have already been harvested and sent to them. Now, it's a little hard to do, scooping ash from the ground. They've been discussing various ways to maintain their profit margins, and most brewers have decided to stop sampling their own wares and potentially stop offering demos at their breweries to lengthen supply. Please, if you are a cleric of Shantea or even a druid of good standing, we could really use your help. That's right, your help in regrowing the fields of Ashenvale. Please, not only do the people of Ashenvale need you, so do my children.
How are your kids going to survive, Mike?
They are definitely not going to.
Well, if you or your children are like Mike's, you might be wondering if there's a way that you'll still be able to get your booze. And I've got some news for you. Some good news for a change. Our item of the week is an alchemy jug.
That's right, an alchemy jug. Now, I know a lot of you out there haven't heard of what an alchemy jug can do for you.
I sure haven't.
But I'm here to tell you exactly what it can do and why it's such a steal of a deal.
You shouldn't steal, though, because then you're a rogue and you'll go to the town guard. But great deals, they can feel like it sometimes, right?
Absolutely, they can. So an alchemy jug produces any amount of non-magical liquid. For you adventurers out there, that means it is no good for your healing potion or poisonous needs. But instead, for us common folk, we can produce any amount of water or, let's say, ale, or if you're into that, troll urine that you could possibly desire. Up to 3 gallons a day, which is not bad.
And you said it was how much again?
It's only 100 gold. That's beautiful, isn't it?
That's like way too much money, my guy. Like, that's probably about the entire town's paycheck combined. Yearly paycheck, I might add.
Dave, how much do you think most people make?
But probably about the same as me. Job dependent, but about 1 copper a day.
Dave, I think you're being taken advantage of. Most people make around $1 gold a week, and here at the station, we're making 5.
You're making money for this?
Of course, we are bankrolled by our lovely mayor, Mayor Weasley, who we'll have later on in the show with an exclusive interview.
Wait. We're bankrolled by Mayor Weasley. He's not paying me.
Sure he is. He said he gives your 5 gold pieces to your mom every week.
There's no way. She would totally not steal that from me if she was getting it, and she would absolutely pay me.
Right. Well, we'll have more on this exciting development after a word from our sponsors.
Are there too many goblins in your backyard? Did you hire some carpenters to fix your house, but it turned out it was actually 12 goblins in 4 trench coats that stole all of your building materials as well as your roof? Swing by Alchemical Aids and Ailments to pick up some Gobbo Begone, the only potion that will banish those pesky critters. Gobbo Begone, guaranteed to work 100% of the time it decides to. Warning, please do not use Gobbo Begone on things or people you do not want gone.
All right, and after that brief discussion into salary, we're going to discuss local news. Are goblins affecting trade? Mayor Weasley says they're not at all. Of course, we're seeing a few differing answers on that one, aren't we, Dave?
I've definitely heard a couple of tradespeople coming in and, they're just getting attacked on the roads. The goblins are messing with farms. There's all sorts of things that are going on right now, and some people thought it was actually kind of like locusts for a
It's
while.
true. Yeah, a lot of farmers were saying and reporting that locust swarms were descending on their fields up until recently. So it turns out that in large numbers, goblins act exactly like locusts, not just the fact that they devour food, but they share their cannibalistic tendencies.
They really do. And I was just thinking that they were only a problem in the city, but now, as it turns out, there's just as many outside in the fields messing with farmers and wagons as there is inside messing with toilets and people.
That's true. And it's not just that, they've also recently decided to physically mess in our trade by offering their own little goblin currency. They're trying to disrupt our economy by using goblin nuts.
And let me tell you, I have held some goblin nuts in my hand. I've actually held an entire goblin nut sack, and it's not the kind of currency you want to roll around. It doesn't feel good, and I don't recommend it if someone offers to pay you in goblin nuts. Just don't do it. It's not a pleasant currency by any means.
Just say no, it's definitely not worth it. But speaking of which, there's another growing problem we have to worry about with the mayoral election around the corner and goblins potentially being viewed as an invasive citizenry. We have to worry about the goblins renaming our beautiful town of Blackshell into Gobbleland, a name they're already using.
And that brings us to another discussion, which should we consider goblins as people, as citizens?
It turns out with their usage of economy, they might actually be considered citizens of the town. They are trying really hard, and we just need to say no.
And should we allow goblins to vote? Because we could potentially just station some adventurers at our doors and tell them to back the fuck off.
It's true, we could, but we would have to be able to afford them. And there is actually a way that we could try that.
Is there really?
Yeah, and a massive beneficial side to it, it turns out that having a giant goblin presence in the area means that most predators, wolves, bears, and the like, are absolutely stuffed to the brim with goblin meat. It's beautiful. It means that all of the prey animals that have those beautiful furs we can trade, all of them are doing wonderfully. This is a great season for hunters as they barely have to try to catch any venison or fowl or rabbit that lurks around our borders. They're literally too many for us to deal with.
So if you're looking for work, being a hunter might be the way to go for the next little bit, at least.
All right, and that brings us to our adventurer's forecast. Isn't that right, Dave?
Absolutely. After last week, we definitely have a couple of updates as to what happened, how things happened, and how things are most likely going to happen here in the near future.
Yeah, so last week we talked with old Graham, who informed us that he did see a full party of adventurers who had stolen a lot of his food and supplies. We saw those adventurers here in town, and as predicted, they were murder hobos.
Which is super unfortunate, but did they actually murder anybody?
They actually did. There was an altercation between them and a merchant wherein they decided the merchant was overcharging them for goods and services. They demanded a 90% decrease in price, a 90% discount. Can you imagine that?
That is a huge discount. Who are they threatening? Tell me, please tell me they weren't trying to threaten Harry.
Well, I'm sorry, we can't actually reveal his name because he is... Oh, sorry, they, not he, I'm not confirming or denying anybody. They are currently being held on suspicion of murder because they drew a wand of magic missiles. Now, the guards saw this at the time as a form of self-defense and assumed there wouldn't be violence. Now, the guards attempted to apprehend the adventurers who were intimidating and trying to persuade and haggle in ways that we are so not used to in this town. The adventurers turned on the guards and killed a dozen of them.
So they were murder hobos, but there's a chance that they weren't initially. There's a chance they came in with quote-unquote noble intentions. They were just too cheap to actually pay for anything.
I would have to call that highway robbery. I'm not sure if there was noble intentions involved at all.
That's fair, but I guess they weren't murder hobos until the guard got involved. So
That's true.
On the bright side, with guard members dying, there is also an opening for some new guards. So if that's something you're interested in, find an empty guard post and just stand there.
It's true. It's a new position. The town guard was newly formed after our broadcast last week, so you don't even require that much training.
Nope, not even an interview. You don't even have a supervisor. You just stand there and guard the town from anything that may or may not come in.
So specifically, now that we're done the update on last week's Adventurer Forecast, we're going to discuss this week's Adventurer Forecast. Now, I'm predicting there is a 100%, you heard me, 100% chance we're going to have adventurers in town in the next week. Now, this is because, for some odd reason, and it happens a lot, we actually have adventurers stop by every time another adventuring party dies.
It's true. It happens all over the continent, and unfortunately, most times when this happens, the random adventuring party just starts slaughtering citizens of the town, particularly the ones who were involved, which is why this person who was involved in killing them is currently under trial, so that with him or them being the only named person, it's the only person that the people can, the murder hobos can really take revenge.
Yeah,
it's like they're unrelated, but
really
they show
weird,
up and start
it?
killing.
Yeah, it almost always seems like some sort of revenge fantasy for them. Like they really have it out for people who killed other heroes that were completely unrelated to them.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to us at all here. So I'm giving you a 100% chance that we have adventurers with an 80% chance they're going to be murder hobos.
So if you see some adventurers coming to town, do your best to not interact with them until it is confirmed whether or not they are, in fact, murder hobos.
All right, and now, just like last week, we have a word from our favorite general store, the best, the only, Silly Sal.
Some have said Silly Sal's Salaporium is hard to say. It saddens me to see that our city sidelines salespeople based on some syllabants. But boy, are those bastards missing out, because this week Silly Sal's is bringing boatloads of some beautiful Bradley Benson brand ball bearings. Find a bad thing in a big room? Break the lock by bashfully blowing in some ball bearings. Billy Benson brand ball bearings, only at Silly Sal's. Buy 1,000 in a bag. Bag not included. Billy Benson does not claim any liability for any rogues who may have mistakenly assumed that ball bearings set off pressure plates. They don't. Find a smarter way to die.
All right, and we have some good news for you folks. Teddy the Toad is a toad no longer. Thanks to your wonderful donations, Teddy has been decursed and is currently on the scene at Alchemical Aids and Ailments with our local alchemist, Arthur.
It's true. Once again, we would like to say thank you so much for donating to help Teddy out, and we're just going to send it right off.
All right,
him.
Teddy, here you go.
Oh, hey guys, thanks up there at the front desk so much for putting together the fundraiser and just bringing me back. I really appreciate it so much. So I'm here at the alchemy store with my friend Arthur. You're my friend, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's
Hi,
my friend. It's my friend Arthur, and we're gonna test some of that some gobble be gone just to show you that it'll keep you safe and all the goblins away.
Right. So I'm just gonna get you to stand like right here.
Oh,
right,
just
right
stand
there.
here, yeah.
All right,
okay.
so I'm gonna spritz you just a little with this bottle.
We're
yeah,
gonna use these on goblins. I can literally see like 3 over there.
Oh no! We want a neutral test. We want to show this isn't gonna really hurt people, you know.
But I like that.
It's okay. I'm just gonna do a little bit of a.
I trust you.
Teddy. Oh my.
Hey, Arthur, what happened to Teddy over there?
Oh, don't worry. I can fix this.
I heard what sounded like a glove. What?
It's okay. I'm just scooping him up, getting everything I can right now.
What are you scooping up, Arthur?
It's
what
okay.
did you
No,
do?
it's fine. Look, it's not. I can fix this. It's just going to be a little pricey.
What do you mean pricey? Do we have to put together another fundraiser?
Don't worry about it. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Well, we don't quite know how much it's going to cost to undo whatever it seems Arthur has done. So I guess it's time to put together a bottle drive there. Hey, Mike?
Absolutely. Once again, we're asking you to help us with the Decurse Teddy Fund. If you have any bottles or donations you want to stop by the station, we'd love to have them.
Yep, and make sure you send them into my mom's basement, because apparently we don't know if she's trustworthy with my salary, so we would prefer to have all the donations make it directly to us. We literally never leave except for work and all the time.
It's true. All right. And our last segment of the day, we have the absolutely wonderful, famous, amazing, magnanimous Mayor Weasley.
And you actually did an interview with him earlier, and we're going to play that.
Absolutely.
Here,
Yeah, we are. All right. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here we go. Hello there, Mayor Weasley. It's lovely to have you on the show.
Oh, it's good to be here, Mike.
Well, that's wonderful. How are you doing today?
Oh, I can't complain. I'm super glad that I'm here and I'm talking to you, and we're going to get a whole bunch of stuff just cleared up.
That's true. So, first and foremost on everybody's minds, how are you dealing with the goblin problem in town?
I would just like to say officially there is no goblin problem. Everything is fine. The little green beings you may see running around are definitely not goblins, and they're not anything that anybody at all actually needs to worry about.
And what do you say to those people who are worried about the murders committed by these goblins who have lost family members to them?
Those people are fear-mongering. The goblins are our friends. They don't want to hurt us. They're actually quite friendly. And once again, there is no goblin problem whatsoever.
Okay, so your view on the goblin problem is that there is none. But
it's not my view, it's the truth. You do not get to say that there is a goblin problem. So if you could
Yes.
stop spreading these false informations, I am paying you to be good and not spread misinformation, okay?
all right, so how about we talk about the guards instead? The guards that were hired over the last week to help deal with
The what?
The what?
the goblin problem in town.
There is no goblin. You know what? This interview is over, Mike. I am not going to sit here and listen as you continually ruin my campaign for the coming up election. You are just trying to run yourself or something along those lines, and I can't deal with it. Good day to you, sir. No,
Mr.
I said good day, sir. Sir. No. I said good day.
All right. Well, that was Mayor Weasley, who left the interview after only 5 minutes of being in the station.
Mayor Weasley, always a pleasure, never a chore, am I right?
Always, always. Now, that I will remind everyone, we have the mayoral election coming up the next season. It's time to start carefully considering who you want to see at the helm of our fair city.
I recommend someone who actually admits that there's some kind of problem.
Dave.
Yeah.
Dave, he pays us. Don't do that.
He doesn't pay me. I don't give a shit.
Shut up, Dave.
Motherfucker.
All right. So in closing, we just wanted to tell you that it's unlikely there will be a dragon attack on the city. That alchemy jugs are available at Silly Sal's, who's also selling the wonderful, the beautiful Bradley Benson's ball bearings.
They're incredible ball bearings. I've used some myself. They're very perfect, and I would recommend them very, very much.
Absolutely. And if you are having a non-existent person problem, as Mayor Weasley will describe it in the future, I'm sure, make sure to grab some Gobblebegone. It's not that dangerous and works when it works.
Exactly, and I don't even think it fully killed our intern, so that's also
It's a plus.
Yeah.
And that's it, folks. Have a fantastic evening from here at the station. We wish you a wonderful week free of adventurers.
All right, it only took like 10 tries, but we did it.
That wasn't too bad. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
I think that turned out pretty well. I can't wait to edit it. I hope it's not like, I feel like it might actually be close to half an hour, which is going to be like whole bunch load of editing, but I think it turned out pretty well. So
yeah, I mean, that wasn't too bad. Like, overall, I really enjoyed like the way the story actually worked together, and the funny segments were pretty good.
Yeah.
Also, your Teddy voice is like on point.
I'm so glad because, oh man, I've done this just segment with you so many times. I'm like, is the humor getting lost? Because like, I'm not losing my shit anymore in between takes, right? So I'm just kind of like, oh no, have we lost the humor? Is it coming across? I hope so. And
I think it did. I think it came across rather well, but we can always just take a listen to it later and decide whether or not we want to re-record in a different day.
That's true because I'm actually home most of next week. So
But I think, do we want to end the stream there? Do we want to just keep chilling, talking, or should we get going? Should we get doing the things?
Well, we can talk to chat for a bit longer. I actually didn't run Audacity for that, so just gonna have to rip the stream.
Oh
video
no, we
directly.
forgot. I can't believe we forgot the Audacity. We kind of needed that.
Yeah, it's kind of super important. But I think for this week, it's hopefully gonna be okay. The podcast audio is gonna be slightly worse, but fuck it.
Yeah, I mean that's not too bad. I mean you can literally just take it and you can download the video and then hopefully you can just strip the audio file out of the video and be like, boom.
Yeah, I'm hoping that there's no awkward, like in that phase where we were recording, I hope there's no lag or jumps or anything. But looking at my thing there, we didn't have any drop frames for the whole
none at all
day, so I think we should be pretty good. So that's super lucky. Next week I'm gonna have to fucking remember to hit record on fucking Audacity. I knew there was something that we were missing.
Also, thanks, Chase the Rain Man. It was lovely to have your commentary. Definitely helped us out a bunch, I think.
Yes, I really enjoy having even just one person, but I hope in the future we can get more people spitballing ideas with us because that helped so much, dude. Like from what we started with to what we ended with is so completely different, and I don't think we could have done that without your commentary and without you here helping.
Yeah, I think we've actually solidified that I'm going to be like the dry guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that works pretty
And I'm
well.
only the dry guy because I'm drunk, apparently.
Yeah, you fucking
That's how it works. Fucking alky.
boozy boy.
Yeah, that's what I am.
But yeah, the last stream was what was it, an hour, like just over an hour. We're sitting here at 2 hours and 17 minutes now.
Oh
So
Jesus, yeah, no, I should.
2 hours and 18 minutes. So
Yeah.
I think it's pretty safe to end the stream here. It doesn't look like anyone's got any comments or feedback, but I think we're gonna upload right before we go live on Sundays.
Yeah, it sounds good to me at least.
And,
I mean, it all depends on how much work you're able to get done on it because like I am useless at that stuff.
I've got 4 days this week to do it, so I don't see that being a problem. I'm not even going to take it with me to the hotel room, but
All right, sounds good. So I think we're going to storyboard, or I'm going to work on a story a fair bit over the coming little bit here, and I'll probably run it past you a few times just to make sure that everything's good and that you agree with the direction we're going to be taking the story here.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. And as always, if you've got any plans if you've got any ideas for our story, let us know, because so far we have used ideas from a couple of our listeners and whatnot. So,
and Dave's mom, can't forget Dave's mom.
Yep, Dave's mom is the one who decided to keep going with the dragon and start the beer shortage. So
it was a good idea.
It was super good. But
right.
yeah, I'm gonna go stand up and turn the stream off.
All right, once again, thank you to everyone who listened and participated. It was absolutely lovely. And I know I'm only saying that to Chase the Rain Man right now, but hopefully we're going to be saying that to a whole lot more people in the future. Have a fantastic night, and we'll see you next week.